From the 12th annual Wild and Scenic Film Festival. It's the largest festival of its kind in the United States. I know, it's pretty exciting. Thousands of people come from all around the world to be here in our little town in Nevada City, California. So we really appreciate you tuning in with us because you're going to get all kinds of solutions, hear all kinds of stories about just maybe even one thing that you take away that could change your life and really change the rest of the world. I know you're thinking you, but it is possible. And with me here, my next guest is the extraordinary Angela Shun. She is a sports broadcaster, journalist, actress, and documentary filmmaker. She's laughing, but it's true. You were all those things. As women, you know, we pick it up.
I guess I like
and
to
we
wear
do
a
it
lot
all.
of hats.
She wears a lot of hats.
Thank you, Elisa, for having me.
So, a film that she worked on for, what, over 7 years?
From inception of idea to finish, yes.
Is Plastic Paradise, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. You might have heard about this, right? Like the big plastic gyre that is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And I think there's actually other plastic gyres in some of the other oceans as well. So Angela, there's so much to talk about with the plastic garbage patch. But first, this is your first time here at Wild and Scenic Film
Yes.
Fest. Okay, tell me your first impressions.
It's wet, but it's good wet because we need the rain.
Yes.
I haven't encountered Nevada City before.
This is your first time in Nevada City.
This is my first time in Nevada City. We walked in, we drove in, and
Yeah.
I was like, "This is so cute." I kept telling my friend, "This is the cutest town ever. I just want to like take it home and like bundle it up and."
It's
and
like
bring
a
it home
Norman
with me."
Rockwell
I love it.
town.
It's historic. It's beautiful. It's quaint. You could walk everywhere, which is amazing. I try to not drive and I live in LA, so trying to not drive in LA
You don't walk around
pretty
in
hard.
LA. What brought you to the Wild and Scenic Film Fest this year?
Well, Plastic Paradise, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, brought me here, and it's just been an amazing experience from all the festival directors and producers to the filmmakers to. Hopefully I'll be meeting a lot of the viewers at the Q&A later on, which we're screening at the Miners Foundry.
At 1:30?
At 1:30 today, and then tomorrow it's going to play again at the Stone House at 10 a.m. if you want to get up early.
Okay.
Well, that's early for me because I'm usually a late night owl.
That is pretty early. So we were speaking off the air just how you know a lot of us start hearing about this plastic garbage patch, this island of plastic, and really it's not necessarily an island, but you actually went out there, and it's hard to get out there. So tell everyone a little bit about your process and first like the inception of like I need to go do this and I need to go out and check it out.
Well, starting out from being a surfer and scuba diver and constantly being in the water and growing up by the ocean, I grew up in the Bay Area and always went to Santa Cruz. I would always, I had a fascination with the oceans, and I worked in television, and I was working for a network at the time, and we pitched it as an idea, and lo and behold, this idea for a 5 to 10 minute segment turned into this giant snowball of, well, I need to know more, and I need to unveil every part of the onion, and we have to talk to these people and these people, and so I did over 70 interviews with different people throughout the years, and there wasn't that much about the topic, or there wasn't that much coverage, and now it's starting to gain more traction, but when I heard about it in 2006, there was only a couple articles, and so really had to dig deep, and well, pun intended, I guess, digging deep. We went over to the garbage patch and to where all the trash ends up. And then it's a bit of a misnomer because you think patch, giant area, giant swath.
Yeah,
or
like you're going to walk on this.
But it's actually, it's a little bit more like dust bunnies in your closet or in a room. There's clumps of plastic, and it's not like all clumped together where you can walk on it, but you'll find it in different areas. Now with the tsunami debris, it's become more on the headlines and on newspapers and blogs and whatnot, because there's more just debris, and mainly it is plastic, even though there are different things like telephone poles and crazy things happening out there. The Transpac race from Hawaii to Honolulu, there's I think about 9 boats that got hit and got boats don't get injured. What do boats get? They get destroyed.
Impacted.
Boats getting injured.
Makeup or
Anyways, it got like they ran into a lot of things, and then they couldn't like finish the race because
Wow.
of running into
You're
things
kidding
and trying
me.
to dodge
Like
out of
because
them.
of running into all the debris in the ocean?
Right.
Wow.
So, and there's been articles recently with somebody, in the Newcastle Herald, which went viral and got 2 million hits, and this sailor traversed across the across the Pacific, and just talking about the oceans being broken. And so there's all these things that we just don't understand, and I wanted to bring it home and to bring it to people on land. And you know, I'm just a normal person like everybody else who had a question, and I wanted to get it answered.
And you went out. You went out to what, Midway? These
Midway, yeah,
Islands,
Midway
past
Atoll.
Hawaii. And
It's actually called Papahanaumokuakea. I practice that one a lot.
Yeah, don't ask me to do that
It's
one.
a national marine monument, and it is about it's a 4-hour plane ride from the main Hawaiian Island. So the whole trek is about like 10 hours to get there.
And so you have to see the film because there are actually a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, but there are people on this island doing research about it every day, and just piles and piles of plastic that rushes up, and it has one of the largest albatross.
Yes, the largest albatross habitats in the world. And the
they eat all
albatross
this.
are really canaries in the coal mine.
Yeah.
They are the ones who are circumnavigating the world.
Yes,
And
yeah.
basically they're feeding their young off of whatever they're seeing floating off of the ocean surface. So they really are such seabirds that they are telling us, they are the indicator species, telling us what is going on, where they're going to places we can't get to, you know?
You know,
They sleep actually.
What, on the plastic?
No, they sleep while flying in the air.
Really?
It's really
Only
interesting.
we
They're
could do
really
that.
fascinating birds.
You know, one of the things I learned in this, Angela, too, is, you know, we hear about the plastic, but all those nets and everything, I hadn't heard about this before. So the nets actually are like these tumbleweeds in the bottom of the ocean floor, and they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it weighs tons, and it keeps picking up all the coral. So it's essentially killing
All the
all
marine
the
life
coral,
around.
all the marine life.
And coral, obviously with coral bleaching as well, and the climate changing, losing coral that way is just really, it's detrimental to the whole ecosystem.
So for folks who are watching this and wondering, well, like, how do I help? Because it is such a big problem.
Right.
So what were your takeaways for this, and what you wanted people to get out of this, and what we could do, like the everyday person, and how we could be empowered to do something about this?
Well, hopefully they will be able to catch the film and learn more about what is going on and why you should care about it. There's little things that we can do every day. Disposable plastic is a huge problem that it's obviously got a lot of traction. LA County just passed a ban. In Hawaii becomes the first state to have statewide bans because of the county councils, but it's really grassroots movements that are propelling us forward. I believe over 85 cities now have some sort of ban or bag legislation.
San Francisco.
San Francisco is one, and leading the way as well. Andy Keller from Chico Bag and the Bag Monster, he was in the film. And you know, things that like we suggest are just saying no. You know, they always say reduce, reuse, recycle. Always start with refuse first. Saying no to plastic. Bring your reusable bottle with you. Bringing your bag with you. That's very simple. Saying no to the straw. It's just very simple, and I think that a lot of people may have that consciousness around Wild and Scenic, but for people who are watching or maybe don't know, you know, I believe one statistic put plastic straws as 33% of beach plastic or beach trash, and I've been talking to a lot of different companies as well recently, and I know that Ford, for instance, has been trying to use a lot of the recycled or reprieve fabric in their car seats and such like that. So there's little things that companies are doing, and it's like baby steps. You can't really, tackling the whole thing all at once just seems sort of overwhelming, and what do we do and how do we do it? But just, you can, in daily things, saying no is very simple. So refusing before reducing, reusing, recycling.
So, I mean, you obviously had a lot of courage in stepping out to cover this story, but what would be your message to everyone about why it's so important to get out there and take action in something that's really important to you, and get, you know, it takes that first step, right? To just say, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and you know what? I think one of the things that really was interesting to me in a little story is when we were out there, I found a 35 millimeter film cap. I mean, who uses 35 millimeter film anymore? Everything's shot on digital.
Yeah.
Or we saw a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy from, you know,
From the 80s,
yeah.
that,
And so you see these toys, you see these like little G.I. Joe figures, you see these 35 millimeter film cap. You see old refrigerators and computers that are so outdated, and we are just starting to see, you know, basically our history washing up in the most remote parts of the earth. And so we don't even know what's going on with what we're doing today. And so that's why I feel like the message to drive home is that it is so important, because we're just seeing what's happening from 20, 30 years ago. So can you imagine what we're going to see in 20 or 30 years if we don't do something about it now? If we don't make some sort of forward action and some forward social change just in our psyche, just in our everyday psyche, saying no, that what are we going to see? Because we use so much more, and the massive production of it.
It does not go away. And, you know, in wrapping this up, Angela, because I know you have your film, but in thinking about the ripple effects that, like, the Wild and Scenic Film Fest has, right? Just hearing one of these stories, or hearing or seeing your film, for example, the ripples effects, and that's true. The ripple effect by using a plastic cup today, what will that be the impact in 10 years? Do you have is there a quick story of, like, the impact or the ripple effect you've seen just with your film recently and coming out?
Well, I do have a lot of friends who text me like, dang it, I had to say no, or, you know, they're like, oh, you made me think about it, or saying no to the coffee lid when they can't bring their own thermos and whatnot, right? And it's just this social consciousness, and I use my family, because they live in the suburbs, as a barometer. You know, and they're always like, oh, hide the plastic, like our auntie's coming over.
Hide the plastic from you? Oh, that's funny.
But, you know, it's just trying to, little things moving forward, and we can all do it together, so.
That's great. If you could finish the sentence, what empowers me is?
What empowers me is seeing the eyes of people who are out to change the world.
Thanks. Angela Sun, pleasure. Welcome. First time at Wild Scenic. I hope you come back.
Thank you.
And best of luck with the screening of your film today. And I just want to thank you so much for being an extraordinary woman and getting out there and having the courage to talk about something that not a lot of people are doing, and traveling out to the plastic gyre. That's a big deal.
Thank you, Lisa,
so thanks so much.
Thank you.
An honor.
And check us out, plasticparadisemovie.com, and hashtag us at PPGP2. We'll get connected through the Facebook and the Twitters and all that.
All right. Thanks, Angela. We'll be right back.